Hi there! I'd like to tell you some stories about the places I've been and the things I've done, the boats I've owned, the vans I've customized and loved, and the motorhomes I've lived in, boondocked with, cooked in, and fished from. Please enjoy my stories or whatever else might be on my mind today. Hello YouTube! I put a new introduction to my channel that you just saw, and there'll be a new ending also. And if you want to give me some feedback on that, that'd be great. While I was doing that, I ran into that one picture of me in a kayak, me many years ago. And so I thought today I'd tell you about that kayak. I built that kayak. I used quarter round oak. Quarter round is that stuff you put along the floor, molding. I guess that'd be in older houses. And that's the stringers, the long pieces from the front point to the back point. And then the bulkheads made out of 1/4 inch plywood, you know, bigger in the middle and smaller, smaller, smaller out to the points. And then I wired that together with copper wire. The skin was naga hide, that blue with the white top there, two different colors of it. Naga hide is like vinyl stuff with a little netting on the back, so it's stretchy but it's strong and it's waterproof. I cut out cardboard templates and then laid them down on the naga hide and cut out the patterns. I built that back when my first wife and I were living in the Volkswagen camper van. And I bought the materials and started the project when we were visiting her parents in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oak Creek, Wisconsin, actually, a little suburb of South Milwaukee. And then we went to Minneapolis, where my parents lived at the time, and I finished the project there. The seams up at the top, after I skinned the frame with naga hide, I sealed it with duct tape. I don't think duct tape was brand new then, but it was not as widely known as it is today, so it was kind of revolutionary to do that with duct tape. Anyway, the design was an Eskimo salam. It's very round bottomed. I'd gone to the library and researched and figured out how this thing ought to be shaped. The Eskimos make their kayaks round on the bottom like that so that when a big wave comes, they can flip upside down and take the force of the wave bang on the bottom of the boat, which is up. And then with the paddles, they roll themselves back up so that they're in the air and not under the water under the boat. And I think salam, I'm not sure about that, but I think salam is the word that means that motion of making that turn. Anyway, so it was very round bottom, and that whole thing, it was 17 foot long. And it only weighed like 20 pounds, a little less actually. So it was very light and it just bobbed in the water like a cork. And the first time I got into it, which was some little lake north of Minneapolis, I don't have the picture anymore. I wish I did because it was really funny. The kayak flipped on me. Learning how to use the thing was like riding a bicycle. And it wasn't as easy as it looked in the beginning. It flipped on me, so the boat is like nearly out of the water over here, and the paddle has cleared the water and me, and I am off this way coming out of the boat, not quite in the water yet. It would be a great picture, but I can't find it. So that was my first thing. We put it on top of that Volkswagen camper and took off for the Rocky Mountains to Denver. hauled it all the way up into Canada and Banff and Jasper, and along the way I'd dump it in the river and go a ways. We did the Snake River, the Yellowstone River, and up into Canada, the North Thompson River, the Clearwater River, might have been one called Kamloops. Some of it was pretty hairy whitewater stuff. One time, well, what happened was I would get in the river, and then my wife would drive the Volkswagen camper down and find a place where she could get off of the road and back to the river. So I'd see her as I got there, and then we'd load it up and go on about our way. But this one time, and I think it was on the North Thompson River in British Columbia, I've gone for like miles on the river, and I'm getting tired, and sure enough, that I see her. She's found a place to get off the road, get down to the river. So I see her, and I get out, and we load the kayak and go another half a mile down the road, and there's a sign that said Devil's something or other, like Punch Bowl or the Devil's Hole. Or, anyway, the whole river went down in the rocks and kind of shot out down below and on down a waterfall. It would have been more than scary if she hadn't gotten me out of the river right there. When she did, that'd probably be the end of this story, and somebody else would be telling it. Well, I had that thing for several years, and one of the things I used to do with it later was surf with it off of Santa Barbara. I was living in Lompoc, and I'd go down to Santa Barbara, and I'd go out to the kelp beds and fish. And I learned how to surf with it, so I could just like catch a cresting wave and take me all the way back into shore. That was fun. But one of the things that happened out there was that the seals would come and play with me. The thing looked like a big beach ball to them, I guess. It weren't seals, not seals, sea lions, you know, the big ones. They're like, you know, a ton of blubber. And when a wild animal like that comes and he's punching on the boat, it was pretty intensely scary the first time it happened. And then I kind of got into it. It was fun, so I'd go out there and kind of go by them to see if I could get them to do it, and they would. So that was probably a dumb thing to do, but we did a lot of dumb things, didn't we? The sea lions out there, they were fishing in the kelp beds also, so they were easy to find. They were always out there. Whatever happened to that thing was, my second wife and I were in Texas starting a new business. And she went back to California where a bunch of stuff was stored and had some garage sales. And she paid some kid a nickel to drag that thing home down the sidewalk. Well, that kid's probably growing up for sure, but I hope he enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed my story today. Hey, if you like my stories and you think you might like the next one, please subscribe and hit the like button down there too. And always remember, in the words of Mark Twain, as paraphrased by my wife, jury never lets the facts get in the way of a good story.